some kind of wonderful.
Well, I have somebody special to introduce to you named Dr. Rosemary Rumbley. Now, let me say this. Chances are every one of you who are watching this show has heard her sometime in your life, because just this year alone, she's doing over 600 presentations, and you have been doing speaking, teaching, you're a doctor, you have a library that you donated to Dallas Baptist College, and it's called the Rosemary Rumbley
Reading room.
Reading room.
Yes.
You've got all that going for you. And a bum knee.
Bum knee.
And I want to know.
Cane.
And a cane. I want to know what in the world gives you the energy and strength to do as much as you do. We're talking 3 times a day. We're talking 3 times a day. You're presenting or teaching or taking a tour, people on a tour. Where do you get that energy from?
I love what I'm doing. It's easy. I can't quit. You can't turn me off. So, I'm like you, Susie. Look at yourself.
No, listen, I'm not kidding, Rosemary. I mean this with everything in me. I'm talking about a history in Dallas, Texas, that you have touched so many people and their children and their grandchildren.
That's true.
And I want to know, did you start out to be a speaker?
Yes, I was 3 years old and my mother gave me, now see, I'm old, so in my day, a child took piano, dancing, and expression lessons. And you gave readings, 3 years old, and you had gestures and spoke, and I loved it, so I majored in it. No, I gave readings. I was 3 years old on the stage doing the program, and then I went to elementary school, Robert E. Lee Elementary School on Vanderbilt in East Dallas, and I played all the little parts in the show because I loved it.
You love that.
I loved it. And then high school, senior play, and so forth. So I majored in speech and theater.
Well,
and when I got up to North Texas, University of North Texas, there was a leftover expression teacher in charge of the drama department. I was used to her. Welcome, students. See, it was all so dramatic.
That's kind of a holdover from the silent movies, isn't it? This kind of thing?
A holdover. I mean, you wouldn't teach speech. Greetings, class. We will now get the boy on the burning bridge and recite.
All right, now back up here.
This leftover was head of the drama department.
You get married, and you married a percussionist.
Right. Yes, a percussionist.
Okay.
Drummer.
So, and you all stayed in the Dallas area.
Well, no, my husband had to go to the service. They were drafted.
So did you follow him?
Oh, yes, to San Antonio. Yeah, I married the 1 o'clock lab band drummer from the University of North Texas. And he was drafted, and so was the entire lab band. They all ended up at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio,
That's right, and
Texas.
that band still exists, and a lot of the members I know.
Sure.
Yes, I know Bill Kemple and
Yeah.
Patty Kemple. I told her you were going to be on today.
Very good.
All right, can I ask you a question? Because you're here bubbly, and you're just like this, and you love it, and everything's good, and everything's wonderful. I want to know, do you ever get down? Do you ever get tired? What do you do when you get there? What are you afraid of?
Afraid of? Oh, I guess that I wouldn't be able to give a speech. Yeah, I've got them all lined up, and I want to do them. And if yes, I'm.
And when you see how many you've got, does this make you feel
I
useful?
live one day at a time, and the older you get, the more you do that.
That's right.
This is it. This is today.
That's right.
Thank you, Lord. And I've got tomorrow planned, but this is it.
This is it, but the
It
thing
really is. I've made myself live that way.
But when you see, and you've got your calendar, and you're living one day at a time, but you see all of this, does this make you feel useful?
Well, yes. Oh, surely.
So is that the key? Is that the secret?
That could be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
that
useful.
you have purpose
and also,
every day?
I love it. I love what I'm doing.
I know,
Sure,
Rosemary.
yeah.
I know all that. I know all that, and love is all great. But I still know that you are a human being and a woman who has lost her husband, who is making it on her own. And I know that there's some dark times that have to come through your life. Also, this knee. And how do you go without letting fear interfere with your happiness?
I pray.
Okay.
Out loud. That's always a good way to pray. And when you're by yourself, like I am, that's very good.
It is
because you
very
can hear noise. Dear Lord, today, thank you for today.
Do you think this is something that just comes with aging, or do you think this comes from believing, and do you think young people will do that same thing when they get in that down place?
I hope so. Yeah. Of course, I've always, the church has always been a great important
to you.
Yeah, oh yes. Some of those readings were at church. I came home, Mother, I'm in the Christmas pageant. What part do you have? I'm playing the part of Lo. Lo, Lo, the angel of the Lord. Yes, yeah, that was one of my roles.
Rosemary, you just are something wonderful. And you are an institution, and I am not kidding. I don't mean you need to be in one. I mean you are a great institution.
Well, it evolved
and
that way.
Dallas loves you to pieces.
Well, I love Dallas.
I tell you, if you have an opportunity to go hear her or just listen to her, and I'm going to tell you something, there is nobody anywhere that can deliver a funeral eulogy like this woman. As a matter of fact, you've now added eulogies.
Yes, I've done 6 funerals.
How can people sign up for you?
I'm in someone's will. They told me.
Oh, that's great.
I've willed you as my speaker at my funeral.
Well, I want you at mine.
I'll be there.
Okay, so let's stay on each other's good sides.